You reach for a handful of chips, then something sweet. It feels like a lack of willpower, but the real answer is far stranger. Your body may be speaking a language that modern food has learned to imitate without ever truly understanding. You probably blame yourself when a craving refuses to disappear. You tell yourself to resist. You promise tomorrow will be different, but what if the feeling has less to do with discipline than with ancient survival systems that once kept your ancestors alive? Why would your own body work so hard to make you want something? Long before supermarkets existed, salt and sugar were difficult to find. They were precious. Every gram mattered because sodium kept nerves firing, muscles moving, and blood flowing, while sugar offered fast energy when every meal required effort. Your brain evolved to treat both as treasures rather than treats. That sounds simple. It isn't. Because your body is not just pulling you towards salt and sugar, it is constantly deciding when to stop pulling. One of the strangest discoveries in modern neuroscience revealed that your brain contains a tiny group of cells whose job is not to create salt cravings, but to shut them down. These neurons act like an off switch. When enough sodium is already inside your body, they press the brake. When that brake fails, the desire for salt suddenly grows stronger, even if you no longer truly need it. That changes the entire story. Your craving is often not an accelerator being pushed, it is a brake quietly letting go. Think about that for a moment. Your brain is always negotiating. It is constantly asking whether enough is enough. What happens when that answer becomes unreliable? The surprise becomes even stranger because the message does not begin where most people expect. Your tongue detects taste. Your kidneys manage sodium. Yet scientists found that one of the most important signals telling your brain to seek salt actually begins inside your colon. When sodium levels fall, cells there release a hormone called secretin. In plain language, it is a chemical messenger. That messenger reaches your brainstem before larger appetite systems switch on and encourage you to search for salt. Your gut is talking. Your brain is listening. The conversation starts long before you notice the craving. Have you ever wondered why the feeling seems to appear out of nowhere? History offers an unforgettable answer. A toddler once lived with an undiagnosed disease that prevented the body from holding on to enough salt. Nobody understood the illness at first. Yet the child instinctively consumed enormous amounts of salt for more than 3 years. That unusual behavior kept the child alive. Then doctors restricted the salt because it seemed excessive. Shortly afterward, the child died. It is a heartbreaking reminder that your body sometimes senses a life-saving need long before medicine fully explains it. Not every craving is a mistake. Not every appetite is random. Sometimes instinct notices danger before logic does. Could your body occasionally know something that your conscious mind does not? Even stranger, salt cravings refuse to behave like thirst. If you become thirsty, the urge arrives quickly. Sodium loss is different. Your desire for salt may take many hours or even days before becoming obvious. Scientists still cannot fully explain this delay. It is one of those mysteries that quietly reminds you how much remains hidden inside your own biology. Another surprise hides inside a hormone almost everyone thinks they already understand. Oxytocin is usually called the love hormone because it is linked with trust, bonding, and affection. Yet research suggests it also helps suppress salt appetite. The same chemical connected with emotional closeness appears to participate in telling your brain that enough salt has already been consumed. One molecule, two completely different jobs. Your body loves efficiency. Isn't that remarkable? Sugar tells an equally surprising story. Most people imagine sweetness begins and ends with taste buds. You taste something sweet. Your brain enjoys it. End of story. Yet your digestive system reveals something much more fascinating. Hidden inside your intestines are specialized cells called neuropod cells. The name sounds complicated, but their job is surprisingly simple. They behave almost like tiny nerve cells. They detect sugar entering your gut and send an almost immediate message through the vagus nerve directly toward your brain. Some scientists even describe this system as a second tongue living inside your body. That means your mouth is not the only place judging sweetness. Your gut is making decisions too. It is checking whether real nutrition has actually arrived. What happens when that message never comes? That question explains why diet drinks often leave people strangely unsatisfied. Artificial sweeteners taste sweet on your tongue. Real sugar does too. Yet deeper inside your body, they speak completely different chemical languages. Real sugar triggers one signaling system based on glutamate, while artificial sweeteners activate another pathway involving ATP. Both messages reach the brain, but they do not mean the same thing. To your biology, they are not interchangeable. Scientists found another clue inside a region of the brainstem called the caudal nucleus of the solitary tract. The name sounds intimidating, but think of it as a checkpoint that waits for proof. It becomes active when genuine sugar reaches your gut. Artificial sweeteners barely trigger the same response. Your tongue may celebrate. Your gut remains unconvinced. That explains something millions of people have experienced. You finish a diet soda. The sweetness was real, yet something still feels unfinished. Why does the craving remain? Because enjoying sweetness and wanting more sweetness are not exactly the same experience. Researchers discovered that liking sugar and wanting sugar are controlled by separate biological systems. Pleasure begins largely with your tongue. Desire grows through communication between your gut and your brain. Those two systems usually cooperate. Sometimes they do not. That is why you can continue wanting another bite even after the excitement of the flavor has faded. It feels confusing. Yet it makes perfect sense. Your body evolved to secure survival rather than satisfaction. Could that explain why stopping after one cookie sometimes feels harder than expected? Your ancestors never encountered shelves filled with brightly colored snacks engineered by food scientists. They searched for scattered opportunities, a little fruit, a rare source of salt, a fortunate meal. Every success increased the chance of surviving another season. Modern food changed the environment without changing the ancient machinery inside your head. That ancient machinery recognizes more than salt and sugar. Scientists have documented specific appetites for nutrients such as protein, calcium, and zinc. Earlier research even suggested that young children allowed access to a wide variety of natural foods often selected surprisingly balanced diets on their own. Their bodies seemed capable of sensing what was needed. Now imagine placing those ancient detection systems inside a world filled with highly processed foods. Many products combine salt, sugar, fat, flavorings, and textures in ways that never existed throughout most of human history. Ancient nutrient signals become blurred because every bite delivers several powerful rewards at once. Your internal guidance system was designed to recognize simple patterns. Modern food often overwhelms it with combinations it never evolved to decode. That does not mean your body is broken. It means the environment changed first. Your instincts still belong to another world. Can you see the difference? Every craving carries a story. Sometimes it reflects genuine need. Sometimes it reflects habit. Sometimes it reflects an ancient survival circuit responding to modern engineering that looks enough like nature to trigger old instincts without fully satisfying them. The next time you crave salty fries or another sweet dessert, remember that countless conversations are already happening beneath your awareness. Tiny brain cells are pressing brakes or releasing them. Hormones from your colon are sending chemical messages. Gut cells that behave like neurons are checking whether real sugar arrived. Ancient pathways are comparing today's meal with millions of years of survival. None of those systems care about trends. None of them understand advertising. They simply perform the jobs evolution assigned to them. That realization changes everything. Instead of asking why your willpower failed, you can begin asking which ancient system is speaking, what message it is trying to send, and whether modern food is answering honestly or simply imitating the signal. Your body is not your enemy. It is trying to protect you. Sometimes it succeeds. Sometimes the modern world tricks it. The next craving will still arrive. But the feeling may no longer seem mysterious, because what once looked like weakness now looks like biology carrying echoes from a much older world, and understanding those echoes gives you the chance to respond with curiosity instead of guilt. If this changed the way you think about your own body, like this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden science shaping everyday life. You reached for a handful of chips, but the real story was never about the chips. It was always about the ancient conversations your body has been quietly having all along.